Ford's S-Max is a large 7-seater MPV for people who, well, don't like MPVs. If you think that sounds like a contradiction, then you clearly haven't driven this car. It's a curious concept, but it really works, which for family motorists still wanting to live life to the full should be a breath of fresh air in an otherwise pretty dull sector of the market. Now I'll be honest with you here, most MPVs bore me to tears. Yes, I can appreciate how many dollars, hours and skin knuckles must have been expended on developing the latest novel flipping seating system, but I don't have an army of kids. I get a kick out of cars that handle well, and I have an aversion to anything that looks like a glorified burger van. I am, in other words, someone who neither needs or wants a people carrier. Undaunted, Ford has designed one just for people like me. If Ford's more practical Galaxy people carrier didn't exist, then neither would its sporty brother, this S-Max. But it does, creating something really quite unique in the MPV sector, a good-looking car, dynamically capable enough to reward the enthusiastic driver. Other 7-seaters feel vaguely pointless if you're alone in them on the move. This one just shrinks around you, encouraging you to take the back road home. The double windscreen pillar can compromise visibility slightly at roundabouts, but other than that, Ford have really committed to safety with this car. An ultra-rigid passenger cell is a good start point. There's also an interactive vehicle dynamics control system, IVDC, that marshals all the other safety systems in a cohesive manner. When those include so many acronyms, that's quite some integration task. You've got CDDC, the continuously controlled damping system. You've got ESP, the electronic stability program. You've got ACC, adaptive cruise control, with FA, forward alert. Then you've got the collision mitigation by braking system. So there's a lot to marshal there. Add in hill launch assist, HLA, anti-lock brakes, and a tyre pressure monitoring system, and you've got a vast array of safety functions. So let's get to the heart of any MPV vehicle, the seats. The Ford Fold Flat system allows no fewer than 32 different seating permutations. The seats fold flat to create a genuinely huge loading area of 2 metres by 1.15 metres. That's about as big as a double bed. In addition, you've got lashing points located all around the sides of the compartment to prevent your belongings from destroying themselves if you do fail to resist the Ford's sporty character. The perennial complaint of 7-seater vehicles, namely that there's not much room for luggage when all the seats are occupied, is partly addressed by the S-Max, that it offers 285 litres of luggage space when everyone's sat down inside. If you do want to run your S-Max in a removal van mode, with all the seats flat, you can get 2,000 litres of luggage space. There are also no fewer than 26 different cubbies located around the cabin. So you'll need to know where you left that key, credit card, wedding ring, or it could be a lengthy search. In total, there's 90 litres of oddment space dotted around here. Now, prices start at around £18,000, rising to around £24,000. Now, that's around £2,000 model for model less than Ford's supposedly more practical Galaxy MPV. Now, personally, I think that most potential Galaxy buyers would be just as happy with an S-Max. And engines, well, I'd steer clear of the entry-level 2-litre petrol unit if I were you, an engine that struggles to shift this car's considerable bulk with any real verve. That unit only really makes sense if you order it in biofuel FFV form. Here you get a flexi-fuel version capable of running on any mix of bio, ethanol and petrol in the same tank. The other engines available, petrol-wise, are 161 brake horsepower 2.3 or a rip-snorting 220 brake horsepower 5-cylinder engine, the same one used in the Focus ST Hot Hatch, which suits the character of this car really well, but will cost you at the pumps. Better then to consider one of the 3 diesels, either the 125 brake horsepower 1.8 TDCi or the 140 brake horsepower 2-litre TDCi that I've gone for here. The best engine of the lot is the 175 brake horsepower 2.2 TDCi, but it's only offered at the priciest end of the range. The gulf in performance across the S-Max range isn't quite mirrored by a corresponding split in fuel economy. The 2.5T returns 29 miles to the gallon on the combined cycle, although our experience with that engine suggests that you do well to replicate that return in daily use. The petrol 2.3 litre automatic is actually slightly thirstier and returns 232 grams per kilometre of CO2 as opposed to the 2.5T's 224 grams per kilometre. The diesels are where it's at, of course, if you're out to save at the pumps. You get 45.6 from the 1.8 TDCi and 44.1 from the 2-litre TDCi, although that figure drops to 38.7 miles to the gallon if you opt for the 2-litre TDCi with the automatic gearbox. Emissions are 164 grams per kilometre for the 1.8 TDCi and 169 grams per kilometre if you go for the 2-litre TDCi that I've got here. Most MPVs are enough to put you to sleep. Happily, with the S-Max, Ford have managed to develop one with a bit of personality. And its injection of flair hasn't come at the expense of basic MPV virtues like space, safety and practicality. Now, this car's arrival moved the large MPV sector on significantly, proving that cars of this kind needn't be dull and delighting enthusiastic drivers with family commitments in the process.